Hi, I'm Neil Beck. I was a doctor in Perth, Western Australia for 53 years and had 500,000 consultations, home and hospital visits. I was interested in what was most important in people having a good life, and the conclusion I came to was that there are no perfect mums or dads, families, homes, streets, communities, schools, industries, governments. So every child starts with some suffering and some harm, some mental health harm. And during their life, additional hurtful things happen. So everybody needs some help with their mental health. But the problem was that it was very clear that there was never going to be enough mental health help for all the people that needed mental health help. Many people got no mental health help who needed it very badly, and few people got some, and some people got quite a lot, but nobody seemed to get enough help. What most helps you to have a good life is to grow your mental health. Mental health is the most important thing in your life. In a developed country, there's plenty of almost everything, and if you're mentally healthy, you'll get what you need. But if you're mentally unhealthy, you're likely to not be able to get some very important things that you need. So growing your mental health is the most important thing that you can do. And the second most important thing is building good relationships. We all need good relationships. People need people. And the third thing is to avoid addictions. The third most important thing is to avoid addictions. Mental health problems should be treated as emergencies. And why is that? It's because problems cause more problems which cause more problems. You start out with, let's say, ADD, ADHD. You have behavioral problems as a small child that creates family problems. In school, you disrupt the classroom and you cop flack from the teacher and you don't learn very well, and you then leave school early with a poor education and have employment problems. So mental health problems cause mental health problems which cause social and other problems. So treat mental health problems as emergencies and get them fixed as early as possible. What is mental health? Mental health is mostly having good feelings, normal warning feelings, and good thinking and habits. The 11 main mental health disorders are firstly worry, anxiety. Worry, anxiety is the commonest mental health disorder. People worry about things, they're anxious, they have social anxiety, they have panic attacks, they have social phobia, they have all sorts of phobias, things that they're scared of. The second commonest problem is probably sleep disorders, difficulty going to sleep or difficulty staying asleep or waking up too early. The third is major depression. Major depression is a very common mental health disorder. The fourth is bipolar disorder, high sometimes, high and fast sometimes, and low and slow other times. Then there's ADD, ADHD, poor focusing, poor concentration, very impulsive, making snap bad decisions, and often hyperactivity. Then there's post-traumatic stress disorder. Something terrible happens and you develop the habit of having flashback memories of that, and your whole body reacts. You have shakes and sweats and perhaps nausea, perhaps diarrhea, and feel very unwell, and this can happen at any time, becomes very easily triggered. Another common disorder, which I call PTEF, is post-traumatic evil focus. Something very bad happens to someone and they try to avoid it by with alcohol or drugs, or with focusing on faraway terrible things like the CIA or conspiracy theories. Post-traumatic evil focus. Very miserable, very miserable. Another common mental health problem is crashed self-esteem. People who are very low in self-esteem, they have a very poor opinion of themselves and they lack confidence. And then there's schizophrenia, with strange thoughts and sounds and sensations. And then there's autism. One of the important things is to always ask why. Look for causes, because none of these things happen without causes. They all have causes, and to fix them you need to find the causes, and you fix the problem and fix the causes at the same time. But so often we don't find the causes, we don't even look for the causes, and if the person gets better they probably relapse if they've still got the cause. I believe humanity's greatest need today is very fast, effective, convenient mental health self-help tools. There is never going to be enough mental health care helpers to help everyone they need it, so people have to be able to help themselves, and to do that they need good tools. Everything we do today with tools. If something needs to be done, we have tools to do it. Tools make it quicker, easier, better, less costly. And I believe that the mental health tools must come through common everyday things, mainly through smartphones, through videos, through apps, and through scrolling. Those are things that people love doing, and they're the way that we can get help to so many people. So the main tools are, first of all, videos. There's no faster, better, easier, more convenient, lower cost way of understanding mental health problems than watching the right videos. I made my first mental health video about 15 years ago, and it got 10,000 viewings in 9 months, which was very good, so I made another 9, and then I made a lot more. But what happened over the years was that people stopped watching my videos because they were 10 minutes, and then I discovered that everyone was, or not everyone, 90% of people were watching TikTok videos. The videos had to be under a minute. TikTok, which only started 9 years ago, has over 1 billion viewers every month, over 1 billion viewers every month, because people love going to TikTok and scrolling. So I then made 83 mental health videos that are under a minute. 83 under a minute videos cover all aspects of mental health and addiction, the wants, the needs, and the solutions. The next tool is websites. So my website is mentalhealthvideos.a-to-z.com, mentalhealthvideos.a-to-z.com, which has got everything on it, but it's rather long, and because people want things to be fast and quick, I now also have a video, smilefixit.com, smilefixit.com. On smilefixit.com everything is listed, and you can just tap links to what's of importance to you. The next tool was an app, the Mental Fixit app. Consultations, which has been and still is usually the main method, is too slow. It takes too long, and too often things are missed, and they're costly. But the Mental Fixit app is free. You can on your smartphone tap the App Store or the Google Play button and download the free Mental Fixit app. At first we made the Mental Fixit app too long. It was 38 questions which you could tap your choice of answers in 10 minutes, but 10 minutes was too long, so then we cut it to 19 questions which you could do in 5 minutes. But now on the Android version we've cut it to 2 minutes, and soon we'll cut the iPhone version to 2 minutes as well. And you'll be able to go through quite a few of the most important questions in 2 minutes. And then the questions that are not important to you don't get asked again, but additional questions are asked. And you keep on working through until you go through everything. But each time in 2 minutes, longer if you've got the time, but in 2 minutes you can get quite a lot of help. The next tool is live streaming, which I'm doing now. I do live streaming on a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. Perth time and 9 a.m. Perth time on Sundays. I found that people love to watch live streaming, so live streaming is important, and I try to cover as many things as I can in live streaming. People want to talk to me, but I can't, because we usually get around 1,000 viewers each time. I can't talk to all them, but if you would like to email me, I always respond to emails. The email address, which is spelt the way it sounds, is healthestuff@gmail.com, healthestuff@gmail.com. If you can't remember that, just remember smilefixit.com, which is the website, and the email address is there, and send me your comments, your questions, your criticisms, and I will always respond to them. The next tool is powder medicines. Why powder medicines? Because in mental health and addiction you want the medicines to work fast, but when you swallow tablets or capsules, they take half an hour to an hour to go right down your gut and start to be absorbed and start to work, and 1 to 2 hours to work strongly, and that's just too slow. When you are dealing with mental health distress, or you're dealing with addiction craving, you want medicines to work very quickly. And if you drop powder medicine on your tongue and suck it, don't swallow it, suck it and absorb it through your tongue, it starts to work in 5 minutes. It starts to work in 5 minutes, and soon your body connects the taste of the medicine with the improvement, and then you get what's called taste conditioning, and the medicine starts to work as soon as you taste it, as soon as you drop it on your tongue, and it reaches your taste buds at the back of your tongue, it starts to work, and it's working strongly in 5 to 10 minutes. And that's far more help for mental distress like anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder or depression or whatever than a tablet or a capsule that takes half an hour to start to work and 1 to 2 hours to work strongly. The next tool is a pocket powder dispenser. Having powder medicine in a bottle with a little scoop was a bit cumbersome and not always very accurate, so I designed and had made pocket dispensers, and we put the powder medicine in the dispenser and you have it in your pocket, and it's always there, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you start to get a mental distress or you start to get an addiction craving, you just whiz it out, drop the powder on your tongue, and it starts working very quickly. So the 7th tool is a heartbeat meditation aid. Meditation is such a valuable thing for people with mental health and addiction problems. What is meditation? In meditation, you take a break, take a little holiday from all your stresses and strains and worries and fears by focusing on your breathing or on a word. And when you focus on that, you can stop thinking about your problems, except that stopping thinking about your problems, if they're very bad, is difficult, and focusing on your breathing or focusing on a word, repeating a word over and over again, is not a strong enough diversion. But listening to your heartbeat is a much stronger diversion. Your heart sounds are, with a stethoscope, are loud, clear, very interesting, much easier to focus on and forget your problems. So a few years ago I started cutting doctor's stethoscope short, and now you can that's the hearing part, and you can just listen to your heart beating and focus on that. Focus on your heartbeat sounds, which are loud and clear and strong and interesting, and take a rest from all your stresses and strains. The 8th tool is a pocket powder dispenser. It's a much bigger dispenser, gives much bigger doses than the medicine dispensers, because it dispenses fruit powder for its taste. Taste is one of the most fundamental human things. From the day we're born to the day we die, stuff is put in our mouth, and we love it to taste good. But sadly, because sugar is so cheap and people love its taste, and it's as addictive as cocaine. Sugar is as addictive as cocaine. I found that hard to believe, but to do a ChatGPT search or a Google search and you'll find that's the case. So the food and drink manufacturers put as much sugar as possible into everything because it's cheap, it's easy to work with, it's easy to store, easy to transport. People love the taste and it's addictive, so they put it in everything. And so we have an epidemic of obesity and diabetes. And to overcome that, I put lovely fruit powders in pocket dispensers, and if you get the urge to buy a block of chocolate or some lollies or cakes or biscuits or drink that's full of sugar, or have breakfast cereals that are 50% sugar, you just whiz out and have a lovely taste of fruit powder. Vanilla and chocolate are my favourite, but fruit powders are becoming very popular, and you can buy them, lots of different ones online from big manufacturers all over the world. Now, I buy mine from the Coles supermarket, but they've only got 3, and 1 I don't like, and 2 I do like, vanilla and chocolate. This 8th tool is not yet available widely. We're having 5,000 made in Ningbo in China, but I've just got the first 100 trial ones to prove them and iron out the bugs, and in a month or two we'll be able to send you the fruit powder dispensers. They're very cheap. You can afford to have 2 or 3 or 4, so you've got different tastes. And today you feel like vanilla, tomorrow you feel like pineapple, the day after you feel like pomegranate. You have different ones. The other thing about taste is you can use taste to make and break habits. Habits are very, very important. Our brain is so busy that it can't do everything consciously, and it has to turn a lot of things that we do over and over and over again into automatic unconscious habits. So 60 to 65% of our life, nearly 2/3 of our life, is unconscious automatic habits that just happen. The biggest one, of course, is sleep, which is a habit. But there's all sorts of things that we do and that happen in us that are just habits that we don't have to think about, our brain doesn't have to focus on and concentrate. But because our life changes and the world changes, sometimes we need to make new habits, or we want to make new habits, and sometimes we need to break old habits which have become counterproductive. For instance, you might want to develop an exercise habit. You might want to learn to play a musical instrument. You might need to learn to focus better when you're studying your books, your mathematics, your history or geography or AI or whatever. And sometimes these things that we want to learn to make into a habit by repeating them over and over again are not that nice. We're not that happy about doing them. But if every time you think about doing them and every time you do them you have a lovely taste, that'll make it much easier for you to do the new thing and to do it more often. And the more often you do it, the quicker it becomes a habit and becomes automatic, and then you don't have to worry about it. It just happens. And you can also use taste to weaken and break habits. How do you break a bad habit? Habits are all based on triggers and on electrical messages in our brain and our nerves, and chemical messages in our brain and our tissues and our blood. And these triggers and electrical and chemical messages get stronger and stronger the more we do them, until they're a habit. But a habit which may have been quite important when you were younger may be quite adverse, and you may want to break that habit, but it may be hard to break. For instance, smoking is a very bad habit. It kills 7 million people a year in the world. 7 million people a year in the world die because of tobacco addictions. And for everyone that dies, there are many whose lives are weakened and cause other problems. So what you can do is how you break a habit is you weaken the triggers and the electrical and chemical messages. You weaken them by delaying them and doing less of them. Delay them and do less of them. So what you do when you think of having a cigarette, you whiz out and you have a lovely taste of your favourite powder, and you just focus on that lovely taste. When the taste starts to fade, you have another, and you focus on that, and when it starts to fade, you have another taste, because the tastes of powder are so cheap, just a few cents each. And so you manage to put off a cigarette for 15 minutes. And also you only smoke 3/4 of the cigarette and throw the other quarter away, and that weakens the nicotine addiction trigger and messages a little, and when they're a little weakened, then you can delay the smoking a bit longer, delay it for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and only smoke half the cigarette and chuck half away. And by using taste to delay and reduce the smoking habit, you can comfortably reduce your smoking by a quarter every 1 to 3 weeks, by a half in 4 to 6 weeks, by 3/4 in 7 to 10 weeks. So you can stop smoking comfortably in 4, 6, 8 or 10 or 12 weeks. And then you carry the powder dispenser in your pocket to prevent relapses, because the problem with stopping smoking is that so many people relapse. They stop for a month or 3 months or 6 months or even 2 years, and then something happens and they just have one cigarette. Oh, I'll just have one cigarette, and they're gone. The habit comes rushing back. But if you get the urge to relapse, you just whiz it out and have a lovely taste, and you don't relapse. So what's the ninth tool? The ninth tool I call Phone Treasure, and I haven't developed it. But Phone Treasure is a sort of equivalent of the fruit powder taste. You just have on your phone lots of things that you love, and you've got your phone in your pocket all the time, and when you need a little boost, or you need to avoid something, or you need to do something, you just whiz out and you look at things on your phone, maybe photos of your grandchildren, or photos of your cat or your dog or your garden, or flowers or lovely mountains or lovely rivers or lovely stuff, or you listen to things that you love, favorite songs, favorite music, or favorite talks. So you have treasure in your phone, and your phone's with you always, and whenever you need something to cheer you up, something to encourage you, or something to block something, just whiz out and have some phone treasure. And what's the 10th tool? The 10th tool I found so fascinating that's why I hadn't finished the 9th tool, but I'll come back to phone treasure later. But the 10th tool, I hope, is going to go global and help millions of people. And the 10th tool I call Scroll Plus. Scroll Plus. And I'm old and a bit of a slow learner, and it took me a long time to realize that people wanted under a minute videos, not 10-minute videos, and that they wanted apps, not thick books to read or long checklists. They wanted apps, and they liked live streaming, and then I realized they love scrolling. My closest friend's wife, who's a doctor, is a TikTok scroller. Yes, so why scrolling? TikTok only started 9 years ago, and they have over 1 billion visitors to TikTok every month. Over $1 billion, 1 billion visitors to TikTok every month, and most of them just scroll. People just love to race through lots and lots of information. And why do they love that? Well, I did a ChatGPT search, and ChatGPT gives 3 reasons. First, they somehow find that it lifts their mood. It gives them a boost in mood, which is what nicotine does. And also it triggers their imagination and their creativity. They see all sorts of interesting things, discover things, and they love that. And thirdly, of course, scrolling is addictive. So what I've done, finally finished today, uh, is put up 90 items of mental health and addiction wants, needs and solutions in scroll form. Each of these items is just a one line that tells you what it is, and you can scroll through all those things in about 5 minutes. But if you want to, you can just scroll through for 2 minutes and then tap the enough button. When you had enough, you tap the enough button. And what happens is that when you're scrolling, every time you come to something that's important for you, you can tap and see an immediate 6 to 16 second video. Immediate 6 to 16 second video. Now, that's not a very long video, but it's enough to give you some valuable information about that item that's important to you. So you're scrolling and you see worry, anxiety, and that's a problem for you. So you tap and you see the 6 to 16 second video, and then you come across something else, cocaine. Cocaine's a problem for you. So you tap the video and you see the 6 to 16 second video on cocaine, and then you come to something else, and you just tap and watch the 6 to 16 and when you've had enough, you tap the enough button and the program gives you an instant list of the links to the videos that you thought were important enough to you that you tapped on them and you watched them. And each of those videos, you can then watch them again if you want, as many times as you want, and each one is linked to 1 minute videos. So you go from scrolling, finding things you're interested in, watching 6 to 16 second videos, then watching 1 minute videos. And that it's surprising how much information you can get about something important to you in a 1 minute video. And then if you want, you can, when you've got more time and you've got used to this and you've found it very helpful, then you can tap the Smile Fix It app, and that takes, at present, takes 2 minutes on Android and 5 minutes on iPhone, but soon it'll be 2 minutes on both, and it tells you the 6 1 minute videos that will help you most. And if you watch the 6 most helpful videos for your wants, needs and solutions over and over again, that's a wonderful help. So you can, in 10 minutes, you can get a lot of help. In 10 minutes, you can tap the App Store or Google Play button on your phone, download the app. In 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you can do the app, and in 6 minutes, you can watch 6 under a minute videos. And they explain the problems, explain the causes of the problems, explain the treatments for the problems. The medicines are probably going to help you most and are a great help. And you can easily share your app reports with family members or friends, or with your doctor, or with your counsellor. And that can save a lot of time. If you go to see your doctor or your counsellor and you just share the last 3 reports when you did the app, they got the picture straight away. And the beauty of the app is it never forgets to ask you any questions. In consultations, often we doctors forget to ask about this or to ask about that, or the big problems, big 1 or 2 problems are so big that we never get to the smaller problems, but the smaller problems are important. If you want to get completely better, you have to find everything and fix everything. And so often that doesn't happen with consultations, but with the app and the scroll, it covers everything. So I'm going to have to stop now because I'm so busy. And as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I missed 5 sessions of live streaming because I had to go into hospital for a week and have some stents put in my heart. So now I'm almost as good as new again, but I have to cut back a bit on the work. So please email me at healthestuff@gmail.com, healthestuff@gmail.com. The email address you can find at smilefixit.com. Email your comments, questions, criticisms, and I will respond. Today is Saturday, so tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow I'll be back again at 9 a.m. Perth time for another live streaming session. Thank you for watching. Bye.